employers are looking to hire people, oftentimes faculty members as well as college students think that what an employer is looking for is someone who has this good solid skill set in this particular area. So for example, if a student is going to be a teacher, they want to make sure they know all the things that it takes to be an excellent teacher, how to put together a lesson plan and how to evaluate students and how to write a really good rubric. Well, although those things are very helpful and important to becoming a teacher, what a principal is looking for is, can the person speak? Can they read? Can they write? Can they make meaning out of complex information? Soft skills are so important. We have a generation of students now, especially those that are between 18 and 30, who have developed a lot of their communication skills using electronic devices. Many times they'll hold a cell phone, tip their head down, and just type their answer to someone who's sitting right across the room from them instead of looking up and having a conversation. Family members have actually told me when they've been in coaching sessions with their students that the way they communicate with their student is the student will text them when they're sitting on the sofa right next to them. And so we are now putting out professionals whose communication skills are really fairly weak. Not all, but many. And so that soft skill development becomes important. Students will say, I'm a really good leader. When you ask them to give an example, they can't. And so in the Career Center, what we do is we coach students on what are your soft skills? What are the soft skills they're asking for in a job advertisement? If you teach someone how to read a job advertisement, it says in the ad what they're looking for. And if you can tell a student, if you can teach a student how to sell themselves, not only in the, for example, of the teacher, that you can do lesson plans and all the things that it takes to manage a classroom, but in addition, you have good technology skills, you have good public speaking skills. Those other soft skills that they've mentioned in the ad, that's what puts you up to that next level where an employer is going to be interested in hiring you. Oftentimes you can teach the content of the job. You can't teach a soft skill like show up on time. I mean, they either have that or they don't. They can learn it, but at the point that people are graduating college, employers like to think that you know some of those things. And in a lot of cases, they're really disappointed when they find out that you don't.
What I'm learning is that employers really want to see students who can show up on time, who can behave well and interact well in a team, and who are very coachable. And so the way we introduce that in the school setting is we talk a lot about attendance, behavior, and grades. Those are things that are very measurable. Those are things that we can talk with students about individually in a way that really hits home with them. And then we also have employers come in and we'll have them talk about that in a very frank way. Anytime we take a tour of a facility, we'll have the human resource person come and talk with the students also, so then they can give that sort of perspective. You know, I think it goes back to students really trying to understand their purpose and what they want to bring to the table. Once they feel connected to that purpose, then all those behaviors will fall into place. And they're very basic things. And so when kids can see how those are things that are in their control, those are things that that really matter to employers, and you know, I try to help them understand that they don't want to become their own barrier. And so the sooner we get that point across to kids, the better opportunities they can have.
Just from my experience in the College of Business, I think the soft skills that employers are looking for, just from interviewing employers and talking to them, they really want to know about communication skills. They really want students to be able to type an email that's not in text lingo. They want you to know how to answer the phone properly. They want you to wear the right clothes, have the right handshake, and those are things that are not being taught at the high school level and even at the college level. I just recently read a book, Hillbilly LG, and he talks about when he got to Yale, I think it was Yale, where he got his law degree. He finished his law degree and he went to this fancy dinner and didn't know which fork to use. He'd went to a public high school in Middletown, Ohio, a state institution in Ohio, and then Yale Law. But through all of that, that soft skill was never translated. We have somehow lost the art of teaching soft skill even at the higher education level, and at the secondary level. So I think we got to figure out how to build those skills back in, because employers are looking